So Brand South Africa recently partnered with Generation Next on this year's Youth Marketing Conference, which looked at how youth affect marketing and advertising, and also explored how they can drive the growth of local brands. Joining us now is Tshepiso Malele, who's the marketing manager at Brand South Africa. Tshepiso, a very warm welcome to you. First of all, just give us the context, if you can. What do we mean by nation brand building?
Sure, certainly. Nation brand building is really the practice of managing our nation, our country, as a brand, which means that we want to influence the way people see South Africa. We want to influence the way people, we want to shape people's perceptions towards our country, because ultimately people's perceptions drive their behavior. And when we are trying to influence tourists, we're trying to attract the attention of investors, and we want our exports that emanate from South Africa to be seen in a favorable light. So that's why it's important for us to manage the various aspects that impact on the way people see us as a nation.
So you raised the whole notion of active citizenship in terms of building a nation brand. What is active citizenship, and how do you get more young South Africans to be part of that?
So active citizenship is really about getting South Africans to play an active role in their country, in their communities. And in our instance as Brand South Africa, we want South Africans to identify ways in which they can contribute, aligned to their own talents, aligned to their abilities, if it's a matter of funds or time, or giving up some of their skills to contribute positively, so that we can build the South African nation brand from within, so that when we go out there and we talk to the world and we say that we are a country that stands for a certain for a certain thing, we're able to support that, and our everyday behavior as South Africans supports that.
So we are in Youth Month now. How then would Brand South Africa like to see young South Africans contribute to the bigger picture of creating this so-called competitive nation brand that you refer to?
Young people in this country are extremely important. We are currently sitting with a youthful population, with about 50% of our population in this country falling under the youth category. And that tells us that the future of this country is highly dependent on how this youth shapes up. And so we need to make sure that this youth is developed and they understand the important role that they have to play, and we make sure that they are equipped, to make sure that they're educated, because they are going to be the future entrepreneurs, they're going to be the future employers, they're going to be the future politicians who are also going to be running this country. So we need to make sure that they're actively engaged and they realize that they need to find a way of fitting into our society, fitting into our country, and taking this country forward, because the power is really in their hands.
So finally then, an event like Generation Next, how important is it in terms of your participation, and also more importantly, building that nation brand?
Generation Next has been a very, very good platform for Brand South Africa to utilize, to get closer to the youth, to gain deeper insights into what drives the youth, what influences their behavior, what are their attitudes towards brands. And as a nation brand, we want to make sure that we're able to engage with them and to communicate with the youth in a way that they identify with. We don't want to end up being seen as a stuffy, old person's brand that does not relate to the youth. So as we mentioned, with the youth playing an instrumental role in the future of this country, we need to make sure that we start building that affinity and getting them to be directly involved in building the brand.
Tshepiso Malele, thank you very much.